Thank you. So we have some cast and crew here today, and before I call some people up for the Q&A, I just want to, if you guys could stand when you hear your name, just get a little recognition for executive producers Stuart Ford, Matt Jackson, Lennon Palmer, Carrie Holt-Karama, John Legend, Mike Jackson. Our supporting cast, Gerard Haynes, Gabrielle Lott, Don Harper, Deanna Reed Foster, Taylor Fondren, and Vanessa Calloway. The casting director responsible for hiring all these actors, Tracy Twinkie Bird. Costume designer Megan Spatz and her team. Art director Audrey Siriwat. Our truly brilliant cinematographer Pat Scola. And the man who made the movie sing with his music, his original score, Stephen James Taylor. 2 years ago, a woman said to me that she wanted to play Michelle Robinson and that she wanted to do everything in her power to help me get this movie made. She did, and she did. The lovely, the wonderful Tika Sumpter. Please join me up here. Making his leading man debut in a movie as a young Barack Obama, the coolest guy I know, Parker Sawyers. And the producer acting as the wise sage and the adult in the room, the one and only, the Bob Title.
Thank you guys for staying. Thank you.
Ready for some questions, Richard?
Surely.
Okay, great. Okay, what have we got out there? Yes, please.
I wondered, did the President and First Lady, are they aware of your film at all?
Are the President and First Lady aware of this?
We've heard from some pretty reliable sources that they're aware, they're excited, and they're also a little baffled by its existence.
Yes, please.
I want to thank you for it very much, but I want to thank you particularly to enlighten what a community organizer is. I've been trying to learn through Virginia organizing, and it's extremely difficult to learn that things happen like this, to learn the patience, the humanity, and just the heart that it takes. It's extremely difficult, and given that we have some people out there that ridicule it, I so thank you for bringing this to the forefront, and that's, why we have such an amazing president, because he did this.
That's really cool of you to say, actually.
She says thank you for shedding light on community organizing, which a lot of people misunderstand.
Gerard, where are you? Are you here? No, he's not here. Okay, so Gerard played Tommy in the community organizing scene, the gentleman who speaks before Barack gets up there. And I just thought that he really conveyed the difficulty that a community organizer has. Just even the community can doubt you when you're trying to help them. So I thought he really embodied that well.
How about up there in the gallery? Anyone? Okay. Sir, up there, yeah. What did he shoot on? What did you shoot on and how many days?
We shot on the Arri Alexa XT, and we filmed throughout the month of July.
I'm going to intercept Tika. Will you talk a little bit about the genesis of this for you? Where did this come from for you?
Well, this is surreal. I can't even believe this is happening right now. I was introduced to Richard through a friend, and he basically gave me a synopsis of this movie that I actually wasn't supposed to have because Richard told him not to give it to anybody. And I saw it, and he said, you know, he's talking about you playing Michelle or whatever, and I just saw the synopsis and I was intrigued immediately. Just the perspective, you know, not seeing these two as we see them now, but from before. So I had to, I was like, let's set up a meeting, you know, and Rich and I, we went to lunch and he explained his vision. And I mean, the script wasn't written. I just knew if he was smart enough to write the synopsis, that I know he's smart enough to write a script. Not only that, but WME is smart enough to have such an incredible writer at their agency. So it started because I was just inspired by the love story. I didn't even think of it like that, you know? And I wanted to see that kind of love up there, you know? And there's no, it's not, you know, the normal rom-com, you know, it's real conversations of what might have been said, you know, and some influences, so other influences. But I was just inspired by Richard, and I said, I said at first, I want to play Michelle Robinson, but if I don't get to, it's fine. I just want to get the movie made. I don't remember me saying that, but I knew.
Well, that's actually how I knew, one of the reasons I knew that Tika would be great to play Michelle, because she had that kind of, I don't know, that ambition and that intelligence, and it was more about, let's get this made somehow. So I said, okay, let me just go write the thing, and if you still like it, we can do it. And Tika was still into it when I wrote it, and it has to be said that we wouldn't be standing here if not for Tika, because she produced this, she pushed it through, she backed me as a first-time filmmaker. So yeah, you know, she's the guardian angel of the project.
For both Parker and Tika, I'm just fascinated with the pressure it must have felt like to play these two living titans. Will you talk a little bit about that? How do you make sense of inhabiting the President of the United States?
Well, this is my first lead, and I live outside the country, so nobody knew me. And so I just imagined that everybody thought I'd suck anyway. So it was really, really low. I just thought everybody thinks I'm gonna fail, so then I'll just try my hardest. And I did, and so there wasn't that much pressure.
Other questions? Here, please.
So if the Obamas didn't actually approve this or contribute to your materials, what were your resources that you used to build the story?
What were your sources to build the story, since the Obamas didn't know about it?
Yeah, you know, I pretty much just culled from the public domain, articles, interviews, videos, just whatever I could get my hands on. And then through the years, I've been reading books, as many books on the Obamas as possible. But the research was mostly public domain stuff, and of course there wasn't a note taker on the date, so you just have to extrapolate from what's there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Okay.
How close to reality do you think? I mean, in other words, you just took your research and kind of concluded you don't really know if it was really that. I mean, it was a lovely romantic story, but we don't really know if that's how it happened.
She says this is a very lovely romantic story, but we don't really know that this is what happened, right?
Right. Well, I mean, the trajectory of the date is about 90% accurate. They went to the Art Institute, they had lunch afterwards, they saw Do the Right Thing, they had ice cream, they kissed outside the ice cream parlor at Baskin Robbins. So many of the locations in those areas, and we were in the zone. There was some question as to whether or not the community organizing meeting happened on the first date, or if it just happened early in the courtship, but dramatically it worked, so I put it in. But yeah, you know, again, it really is, it's a fictionalized account. So I tried to be as authentic as possible.
Yes, sir.
This isn't a question, this is just, Parker, you're fantastic, first of all. This is giving props to you, Tika, because I know what a passion project this was for you, and the fact that I feel like what we see as artists is that you epitomize the fact that you went out, you found the project that you were passionate about, and you made sure that that got made. So for that, this isn't a question, but I'm saying you deserve so much props for that as an artist and as a producer. I'm so proud of you, and I can't say that enough. So
That's my amazing friend, Jesse Smollett. Thank you, Jesse. I really appreciate that. We really appreciate that.
Way over there, yes. Yes.
Okay. I was curious how long you were looking for the person that resembled Barack. That's perfect.
How long were you looking for the person who resembled Barack
There's
enough?
a second part.
Second question.
And I want to know if the actor that played Barack thinks he's cute.
I'll tell you, he does. He thinks he's cute.
I think I'm cute.
He has Parker has great things to say about himself. We had a fairly short casting process. Twinkie and I put our heads together and we got, I think we put together a list of like about 30 actors, and Parker actually came in through a taped audition, and his initial audition was, no, it was an impersonation of Commander-in-Chief Obama, and that was exactly what we weren't looking for. And a lot of folks were coming in doing that impersonation. So Twinkie actually said, turn the volume off on his audition and give it another look. And I did, and I looked into his eyes, and I saw that there was definitely more there. So we actually had a call, and as soon as I just said, you know, you're just a guy trying to get a girl, he was like, okay, I got it, I'm getting off the phone, new tape's coming in tomorrow. The new tape came in, and it was essentially the performance that you see in the movie.
Yeah, and when I saw the tape, I was like, okay, yeah, book him, get him, please.
And do you think you're cute?
Yes, he thinks he's cute.
Wait, I'll say, my very first tape, it was a full-on impersonation. I was even moving like a 50-year-old. Do you want to get ice cream? Or, you know. I rewatched it, and I cringed.
Yeah, I watched it too, and I said, no.
No. I removed it from Vimeo, and it's gone.
For Bob, I just want to ask Bob something as producer. What was the biggest challenge of getting this movie done?
I mean, it was really about pre-production, and to the three of them up here, their credit, I mean, they rehearsed like crazy because we didn't have a lot of time to do this. So between Rich, and I kept telling Rich, like, just keep rehearsing. I'll deal with the other stuff, just keep rehearsing. And like I said, they would do 7-8 pages of dialogue a day, and sometimes there's one take, you know, just all the way through. And for this movie, it really was preparation. Having, I think, the crew in Chicago behind us, and obviously it's been great to work there. And everybody kind of rallied around it, so it was a great crew. It was a great experience.
We have time for one more. I'm going to take this earnest person right here.
Has the book been sent to the Obamas, and if not, when are you planning to do that?
When are you planning to send it to the Obamas?
As soon as possible. Maybe we get them here for a screening later this week. I don't know.
Or we can go there for a screening. Whichever way. Can we answer one more? There was one up top.
Sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead, yeah.
You welcome, Mama.
I'm sorry.
Guys, we're a mixed audience here of every kind of racial hue, and this is Sundance. What is it that you want the audience, the mass audience, who are out of Sundance, and what do you want the world to know about this movie, about this film? What do you want that to be a takeaway for everyone to go see?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah.
I think you asked, what do we want the takeaway to be for the world?
What do you want the world to know
What do we want
from
the
this
world to
movie,
know about the
from
movie?
watching this?
I think I would actually put the question back on you. What did you take away from it? Because my opinion doesn't really mean anything at this point, you know?
I mean, because we're Sundance, we're people who are film lovers, but when it goes out to the masses, what do you want them to see? What do you want them to learn? What do you want them to know? Why are you so important?
What do you want them to learn? What do you want them to know?
I mean, you know, it's a little embarrassing, but the ambitions were pretty modest. We just wanted to tell a love story, and we just wanted people to sort of feel that and relate to it. That's pretty much it.
and whatever else you take away from it is sugar on top. But I think ultimately I wanted to see someone who looked like me falling in love up there. And I think everybody can relate to that on the masses. It's just a love story. It's not Republican, Democrat, anything else. It's a love story.
And with that message of love, we're going to end this Q&A.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.